Ah, yes, deep in the heart of Texas, which is now the capital of FAFO, as in fuck around and find out. And as they say, everything is bigger in Texas, including mega regret. And I just can't help but to feel sorry for them in no way whatsoever. So go ahead, hit subscribe to Really American Media, as it's time for another chapter of I Didn't Know I Was Voting for That, Texas Edition. So, I don't know if you saw the movie Civil War, came out about a year ago, but a big part of the plot involved two states that teamed up against a tyrannical government and a president that refused to leave office. I can't imagine where the idea for that came from.
Citizens of America, the so-called Western forces of Texas and California.
Yeah, now when I saw that movie, I kind of thought, why would Texas team up with the polar opposite state of California? I can see why the lefty liberals in California would fight back against the Trump-inspired president in that movie. But why would Texas team up with them? Then it occurred to me, they're a big fan of the don't tread on me philosophy. You can even get a Texas license plate that says it. So it makes sense that they would end up fighting a wannabe dictator as well. And that fictitious storyline, it's now playing out in real life as the Trump administration is using eminent domain to take land from citizens in the Lone Star State, deep in the heart of mega country. And they're all rootin' tootin' mad about it. And this all started back in Trump's first administration.
You grow up in this country, you go to public school, you may learn about eminent domain, but until you're in the crosshairs of the government, you don't understand how it really works. They invoke it and they take your land and they do what they want.
But Naba's not the only one threatened by eminent domain. Rey Ansaldúa is descended from Spanish settlers who, in the 1700s, were awarded land grants in the valley totaling about 18,000 acres.
Out of those 18,000 acres, now we probably have no more than 150 acres. So that's a lot of land to lose, and here they come again with this border wall.
Yeah, so how does eminent domain work? I mean, it seems very un-American for the government to just take your land, but it happens all the time, just not normally on the scale that we're seeing in Texas.
Under a process called eminent domain, the government must file a declaration of taking. It allows the government to seize private property right away. In exchange, the feds have to pay landowners for the damages done to their property.
Well, that would seem to violate the don't tread on me mantra that is so popular with Texans. So what does their dear leader think of eminent domain himself?
You say that eminent domain is wonderful, and you talk
I don't say wonderful, I say eminent domain is something you need.
Eminent domain is people don't understand it. I don't love it, I don't like it, but it's a necessary thing.
Eminent domain is used on somebody's property. That person gets a fortune. They get at least fair market value, and if they're smart, they'll get 2 or 3 times the value of their property.
All right, so Trump basically says it's a necessary evil, but he also said that landowners, they're going to get rich from it. How's that working out in Megaland?
They say they were willing to sell 30 acres of their property to the Border Patrol under certain conditions that they had all agreed on.
I asked them what is going to be on the property, first of all, and all they said was just going to be offices, places to park our trucks, things like that. I asked if there was going to be a gun range. They said no. I asked helipad. They said no. And then come to find out, several months later, it actually all that is going to be on my property.
Wait, what? Shocking. The Trump administration lied to you. What about all that money? Certainly it's coming your way.
On top of that, the government only wants to give him $67,000 for the 30 acres of his ranch to build its $33 million Border Patrol complex. Jacob Cantu showed us page after page of documents and letters that have been sent between him and the federal government. One of those letters from the federal government told him that if he didn't agree to take the $67,000, then they would condemn his property and he could fight for more money in court.
Well, all righty. Take our lowball offer or we'll just condemn your land and take it for free. Thanks for the votes. But surely they shared your concerns over the safety of your family living next to this federal facility that will include a gun range.
And we've straight up had a meeting with the U.S. attorney about this deal already. And I told him, what happens if one of these stray bullets hits my child, hits my husband? And the attorney straight up looked at me and told me, you have to put a dollar value on that.
Ah, yes, the discussion every parent wants to have. How much is my kid worth if the government shoots them? Doesn't get much more FAFO than that. And there was also another family in Texas that fought the Trump administration the first time around, and they ended up breathing a sigh of relief when he lost in 2020. And yes, Mega, he lost in 2020. And that family, they figured they were done fighting eminent domain, and the Biden administration actually gave them their land back. Yes, a Democrat did something that was popular down south.
Biden administration is returning land seized by the federal government to a Texas family. Now, that land was taken through eminent domain under former President Trump for construction of the proposed border wall.
And fast forward to today, that same family is back to hiring a lawyer as Trump version 2.0 is coming after their land again. In fact, now that the Department of Homeland Security is flush with cash, thanks to the big, beautiful spending bill, they have now filed dozens of eminent domain lawsuits against Texas landowners deep in the heart of Mega.
He's threatening our ill-gotten gains.
Gold, darn it! I worked hard to ill-get those gains.
Yep, and reports are already coming in that despite Homeland Security having billions to spend, they're offering just $3,000 an acre to these Texas families. And Texas did try to head this off in the pass, as I assume they say down there in cowboy country. Texas tried offering the then incoming Trump administration 1,400 acres of land for deportation efforts, which Tom Homan accepted with literal glee.
Less than 3 weeks after Texas Land Commissioner Don Buckingham offered the incoming Trump administration 1,400 acres of land in Starr County to aid their mass deportation efforts, incoming border czar Tom Homan revealed on the Dr. Phil show that he will certainly be taking Buckingham up on her offer.
Yeah. Is there a plan to utilize that?
I'm writing the plan as we speak. I was working on it last night, matter of fact.
And ironically, Mega and Trump often call immigration an invasion. And a longtime Texas local who is now fighting against having their land seized said, quote, "Now it feels like an invasion of the government on us," which is a great FAFO quote, as the Trump administration wants to take just 1 acre of their land for $3,000. But the problem is, it would then cut off their access to another 9 acres of their land that they would technically own, but they could not use. The same story is playing out with Raquel Olivia, whose family has been on their land in Texas since 1798. The government filed back in February to take just about 3 acres of their land for a border wall, but that would cut off their access to an additional 100 acres of their land, where the family currently farms, hunts, and operates a gas well. So instead of "don't tread on me," Trump is changing that to "feel free to tread all over me, and thanks for voting Mega." So to recap, Trump is going to take land away from dozens of Texas families by either paying them pennies on the dollar or just condemning their land so he can build his vanity wall and make some more concentration camps like Alligator Alcatraz that he loves so much. And now the great Orange Julius Caesar has enlisted Texas to help destroy our democracy by actually rigging the next election. Thanks, Texas. This is indeed a case of fuck around and we all find out. And all of this goes against that Texas philosophy of "don't tread on me." I hope you're paying attention, Texas, because our king, he's making a fool out of all of you. So please like the story, share it worldwide, and comment below. Get vocal. From the Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve podcast, available everywhere. I'm Steve Harness for Really American Media.